Chapter 1. A World in the Stars. Astris Luminara was not your average teenager. While other kids her age worried about school dances, homework, and fitting in, Astris spent her days aboard the Zenith, a state-of-the-art starship navigating the uncharted territories of the galaxy. She was a child of the stars, born to the legendary space explorers Captain Elias and Dr. Talia Luminara. Life on the Zenith was all Astris had ever known. The ship's humming corridors, the ever-present view of the cosmos from the observation deck, and the constant hum of the engines were her lullabies. The Zenith was more than a vessel, it was her home, her sanctuary, and the backdrop to her wildest dreams. Astris had always been curious, with a thirst for knowledge that seemed unquenchable. She spent hours in the ship's vast library, devouring information about distant galaxies, alien species, and the mysteries of the universe. But her favorite place was the ship's lab, where her mother conducted experiments and researched the unknown phenomena they encountered on their journey. It was in this lab that Astris first discovered her unique gift. At the age of 12, she accidentally triggered a dormant quantum device, revealing her ability to manipulate quantum energy. It was a power that frightened and fascinated her in equal measure. Her parents, both brilliant scientists, were astounded by her abilities and vowed to help her understand and control her newfound power. Now 16, Astris had become adept at using her abilities, but she knew there was still much to learn. Her powers were growing, evolving, and with them, so were the responsibilities and dangers she faced. Little did she know, the universe had plans for her that would test her abilities and courage like never before. Chapter 2. The Arrival. The Zenith's journey had taken them to the fringes of known space, a place where maps turned into blank canvases and stars shone with unfamiliar constellations. It was here, amidst the void, that the Zenith's sensors picked up an anomaly, a massive energy signature, unlike anything they had ever seen. Captain Elias Luminara stood on the bridge, his stern features illuminated by the soft glow of the holographic displays. "What do we have, Finn?" he asked, turning to the ship's chief engineer and resident tech genius, Finn Roderick. Finn's fingers flew over the console, bringing up data and charts. "It's an energy signature, Captain. Off the charts. We're talking about levels we've never encountered before. It's coming from a planet not listed in any of our databases." Elias stroked his chin thoughtfully. "Set a course. We need to investigate. Prepare the landing crew and make sure we're ready for anything." Astris, who had been silently observing from the corner of the bridge, felt a thrill of excitement mixed with a tinge of apprehension. Unknown planets and anomalies often meant danger, but they also held the promise of discovery. As the Zenith approached the mysterious planet, Astris watched in awe. The planet was a swirling mass of blues and greens, with an ethereal glow that seemed to pulse with life. It was beautiful, but there was something almost otherworldly about it. The landing team consisted of Captain Elias, Dr. Talia, Finn, Astris, and a few other crew members. They descended to the planet's surface in a small shuttle, the Zenith remaining in orbit, ready to assist if needed. The landscape that greeted them was breathtaking lush forests, sparkling rivers, and towering mountains. But it was the air itself that felt different, charged with a subtle energy that Astris could sense with her heightened awareness. "We need to find the source of that energy signature," Elias said, checking his scanner. "It's coming from somewhere in those mountains." Chapter 3. The Discovery. The trek through the forest was arduous but filled with wonder. Strange, luminescent plants and curious creatures watched them with wide eyes as they made their way deeper into the unknown. Astris felt a connection to this place, as if the planet's energy resonated with her own. As they climbed the rocky terrain, they stumbled upon an ancient structure, half buried in the mountainside. It was unlike anything they had ever seen, with intricate carvings and symbols that seemed to glow with an inner light. Finn's eyes widened as he examined the structure. "This is incredible. The architecture, the technology, it's advanced, far beyond anything we've encountered, but it also feels old, ancient." Elias nodded. "We need to be cautious. Let's explore and see what we can find." Inside the structure, they found a chamber filled with strange devices and a central pedestal that seemed to hum with power. As they approached, the pedestal activated, projecting a holographic image of a being that was both humanoid and ethereal. "Greetings, travelers," the hologram spoke in a melodic, otherworldly voice. "I am Elyndra, guardian of the Quantum Nexus. You have been drawn here for a purpose. Astris felt a surge of energy as Elyndra's gaze seemed to focus on her. The Quantum Nexus is a source of unimaginable power, capable of altering the very fabric of reality. It must be protected from those who would misuse it. You, Astris Luminara, have been chosen to become its guardian. Astris's heart raced. Why me? Your unique abilities make you the only one capable of mastering the Nexus's power. But be warned, with great power comes great responsibility. The fate of countless worlds may depend on your actions. Chapter 4. The Training. Back on the Zenith, Astris struggled to come to terms with her new role. Elyndra's words echoed in her mind, the weight of responsibility pressing down on her. Her parents and Finn were supportive, but they too were wary of the power she now had access to. Dr. Dahlia Luminara worked tirelessly to help Astris understand the Quantum Nexus. We need to approach this scientifically, she said, scanning Astris as she practiced her abilities. Your power is linked to quantum energy, which means it's tied to the very building blocks of the universe. Control and focus are key. Finn built devices to help Astris harness and direct her power. These gauntlets should help channel the energy more efficiently, he explained, handing her a pair of sleek silver gloves. But remember, the true power lies within you. Astris trained day and night, pushing herself to the limits. She learned to manipulate energy fields, create barriers, and even teleport short distances. But the most challenging aspect was learning to control her emotions. The Nexus's power was tied to her state of mind, and any loss of control could have catastrophic consequences. One evening, after an intense training session, Astris sat alone in the observation deck, gazing at the stars. She felt a mixture of fear and excitement. The universe was vast, and she was just one girl with an extraordinary gift. Could she really protect the Quantum Nexus and the countless lives that depended on it? Elyndra's hologram appeared beside her, as if sensing her turmoil. You are stronger than you realize, Astris. The power of the Nexus is a part of you, but it does not define you. Your courage, your compassion, and your desire to protect others, these are what make you a true guardian. Astris nodded, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. I won't let you down, Elyndra. I will protect the Nexus and use its power for good. Chapter 5. The Threat. Unbeknownst to Astris and the crew of the Zenith, their discovery of the Quantum Nexus had not gone unnoticed. In the shadows of the galaxy, a powerful and malevolent entity known as Vortigern had been searching for the Nexus for centuries. Vortigern, a being of immense dark energy, sought to use the Nexus's power to dominate the universe. His spies had detected the Zenith's presence and reported back to him. With a sinister grin, Vortigern set his plans into motion. He would stop at nothing to possess the Nexus and bend reality to his will. Meanwhile, Astris continued her training, unaware of the looming threat. Her abilities had grown, and she felt more confident in her role as the Nexus's guardian. But her newfound peace was shattered when the Zenith sensors picked up an approaching fleet of hostile ships. Captain Elias called the crew to the bridge. We have incoming ships heavily armed. They're not responding to hails, and their trajectory suggests they're heading straight for us. Astris's heart sank. It must be Vortigern. Elyndra warned me about him. He wants the Nexus's power. Elias's jaw tightened. Then we'll have to be ready. All hands to battle stations. Astris, stay close to your mother and Finn. We'll need all the help we can get. As the enemy ships closed in, the Zenith's crew prepared for battle. Astris felt a surge of determination. She would not let Vortigern take the Nexus. She would fight with everything she had to protect her family, her home, and the universe. Chapter 6. The Battle. The skies around the Zenith lit up with laser fire and explosions as the enemy ships launched their assault. The Zenith's defenses held strong, but they were outnumbered and outgunned. The ship rocked with each hit, and the crew worked tirelessly to keep the shields up and the weapons firing. Astris stood beside Finn in the engineering bay, using her abilities to reinforce the ship's shields and direct energy where it was needed most. Sweat poured down her face as she concentrated, feeling the strain of maintaining such a high level of power. We're taking too much damage, Finn shouted over the din. We need to find a way to disable their ships. Astris nodded, her mind racing. She reached out with her quantum energy, feeling the intricate web of connections that powered the enemy fleet. With a deep breath, she focused on disrupting those connections, creating a chain reaction that disabled several of the ships. The tide of the battle began to turn. But Vortigern's flagship remained a formidable threat. It loomed larger than the rest, bristling with weapons and dark energy. From the bridge, Elias watched as the flagship's cannons charged up, ready to unleash a devastating attack. "Brace for impact," he shouted. But before the cannons could fire, a brilliant light enveloped the Zenith. Elyndra's hologram appeared on the bridge, her presence radiating power and calm. "The Nexus will protect you," she said, her voice resonating through the ship. "But you must trust in Astris." Astris felt the Nexus's energy surge within her, guiding her movements. She reached out with her power, enveloping the Zenith in a protective barrier that absorbed the flagship's attack. The energy from the attack flowed back into the Nexus, amplifying Astris' abilities. With a determined cry, Astris directed the energy toward the flagship, targeting its core. The ship shuddered and then exploded in a blinding flash of light, leaving the remaining enemy ships to retreat in fear. The Zenith's crew erupted in cheers, but Astris knew the battle was far from over. Vortigern had been defeated, but his dark presence lingered, a reminder of the threat that still loomed. Chapter 7. The Aftermath. The Zenith floated in the aftermath of the battle, its crew tending to the wounded and assessing the damage. Astris felt a deep weariness settle over her, the strain of using the Nexus's power taking its toll. Elyndra's hologram appeared before her, a look of concern on her ethereal face. "You did well, Astris. But Vortigern will return. You must continue to train and strengthen your bond with the Nexus." Astris nodded, her resolve firm. "I won't let him take the Nexus. I'll do whatever it takes to protect it." As the crew worked to repair the ship, Astris and her family gathered in the observation deck. The stars outside seemed brighter, a reminder of the vast universe they were a part of. Captain Elias placed a hand on Astris' shoulder. "You were incredible out there. We're proud of you, Doctor." Talia nodded, her eyes filled with pride and worry. "But we must be cautious. The power you wield is immense, and there are many who would seek to control it." Astris understood the weight of her responsibility, but she also felt a sense of purpose. The Quantum Nexus was a part of her now, and she would protect it with everything she had. Chapter 8. The journey continues. With the Zenith repaired, and the crew ready to continue their journey, Astris felt a renewed sense of determination. The galaxy was full of wonders and dangers, and she was ready to face them head-on. Elyndra's hologram appeared one last time before they set off. "Remember, Astris, you are not alone. The Nexus's power is vast, but so is your heart. Trust in yourself and those around you." Astris smiled, feeling a sense of unity with her family and crew. Together they would explore the far reaches of space, uncovering its secrets and protecting its wonders. As the Zenith soared through the stars, Astris looked out at the endless expanse of the universe. Her journey was just beginning, and she knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, she was ready to face them. Chapter 9. The Call of the Ancients. The weeks that followed were filled with exploration and discovery. The Zenith's journey took them to new star systems and uncharted planets, each with its own unique wonders and challenges. Astris' training continued, her abilities growing stronger and more refined with each passing day. One evening, as Astris sat in the ship's library, poring over ancient texts and star charts, a soft chime signaled an incoming message. She activated the holoscreen, and the face of a distinguished-looking alien appeared. His skin was a deep blue, with intricate markings that seemed to shimmer in the light. "Greetings, travelers of the Zenith. I am High Scholar Ilian of the Orinthian Conclave. We have observed your journey and the recent events surrounding the Quantum Nexus. It is imperative that we meet." Astris felt a chill run down her spine. The Orinthians were known as the Keepers of Knowledge, an ancient and reclusive race with vast libraries of information on the galaxy's most powerful artifacts and secrets. Captain Elias joined Astris, his expression serious. "High Scholar Ilian, we are honored by your message. What is it that you wish to discuss?" "The Quantum Nexus is a relic of great power, and even greater danger," Ilian explained. "Its origins date back to the dawn of our galaxy, created by a civilization known as the Primordials. We believe the Nexus holds the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe, but it must be handled with the utmost care." Astris felt a surge of curiosity. "What do you need from us?" "There are ancient texts and artifacts within our archives," that may help you understand and control the Nexus's power," Elyndra said. "We invite you to visit our homeworld, Orinthia, where we can share this knowledge and prepare you for the challenges ahead." Captain Elias nodded. "We will set a course for Orinthia immediately." "Thank you, High Scholar." As the message ended, Astris felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. The Orinthian's knowledge could be invaluable, but the mention of the primordials and the Nexus's true origins hinted at dangers she had yet to comprehend. Chapter 10: Journey to Orinthia. The voyage to Orinthia was long but uneventful. The crew of the Zenith used the time to make necessary repairs and upgrades to the ship, preparing for whatever lay ahead. Astris continued her training, guided by the wisdom of Elyndra and the support of her family. When they finally arrived, Orinthia was a sight to behold. The planet was a vibrant tapestry of forests, mountains, and crystalline seas that seemed to float above the surface. The Zenith was greeted by a fleet of elegant Orinthian ships, escorting them to the capital city. High Scholar Elyndra met them personally, his demeanor both welcoming and grave. "Welcome to Orinthia, travelers. There is much to discuss and little time to waste." Astris, Elias, Thalia, and Finn were led to a grand hall filled with ancient artifacts and holographic displays. Elyndra began to explain the history of the primordials and the creation of the Quantum Nexus. The primordials were the first civilization. Their knowledge and power unmatched, Elyndra said. They created the Nexus as a means to manipulate the very fabric of reality, but they also foresaw the dangers it posed. Before their civilization vanished, they entrusted its protection to chosen guardians, individuals with the unique ability to wield its power responsibly. Astris listened intently, the pieces of the puzzle starting to come together. "So the Nexus has had other guardians before me?" "Yes," Elyndra confirmed. "But many have fallen, corrupted by the very power they sought to protect. You, Astris, must be vigilant and strong, for Vortigern is not the only threat. There are others who seek the Nexus, and they will stop at nothing to claim it." Chapter 11: The Trials. To prepare Astris for the challenges ahead, the Orinthians proposed a series of trials designed to test her abilities, wisdom, and resolve. Each trial would push her to her limits, forcing her to confront her deepest fears and harness the full extent of her power. The first trial took place in the Hall of Mirrors, a vast chamber filled with reflective surfaces that distorted reality. Astris found herself surrounded by countless versions of herself, each reflecting a different aspect of her personality and abilities. "To master the Nexus, you must first master yourself," Elyndra's voice echoed through the hall. "Face your fears and embrace your strengths." Astris moved through the hall, confronting visions of her past, her fears of failure, and her moments of doubt. Each reflection offered a lesson, a reminder of her journey and the growth she had achieved. By the end of the trial, she felt a renewed sense of confidence and clarity. The second trial was a test of her strategic thinking and leadership. She was placed in a simulated battle scenario, commanding a fleet against a formidable enemy. With Finn's guidance and the support of her parents, Astris learned to balance her powers with tactical decisions, leading her fleet to victory. The final trial was the most daunting. Astris was taken to the core of Orinthia, a place where the planet's energy converged in a powerful nexus. Here, she had to channel the full power of the Quantum Nexus to stabilize the core and prevent a catastrophic event. As she focused her energy, Astris felt the Nexus's power surge through her, amplifying her senses and abilities. She visualized the energy flows, directing them with precision and control. It was a delicate balance, one that required every ounce of her strength and concentration. When the trial was over, Astris emerged victorious but exhausted. High Scholar Elyndra met her with a proud smile. "You have done well, Astris. You are now ready to face the challenges ahead. But remember, the journey is far from over." Chapter 12: The Gathering Storm. With the trials complete, the Zenith departed Orinthia, armed with new knowledge and a sense of purpose. But the threat of Vortigern and other dark forces loomed ever closer. Astris could feel the weight of her responsibility, but she also felt the support of her family and crew. As they navigated through the stars, the Zenith received a distress signal from a nearby star system. The signal was weak and garbled, but the urgency was clear. Captain Elias immediately set a course to investigate. The source of the signal was a small, ravaged planet, its surface scarred by battle. The Zenith landed in the midst of the devastation, where they were met by a group of desperate survivors. One of them, a young woman named Lyra, explained their plight. "Our planet was attacked by Vortigern's forces. They sought something we were protecting, an ancient artifact believed to be linked to the Quantum Nexus." Astris felt a chill run down her spine. What happened to the artifact? Lyra shook her head. We don't know. It was taken during the attack. We managed to escape with our lives, but our home is lost. Elias stepped forward, his expression resolute. We will do everything we can to help you, but we must find that artifact before it falls into the wrong hands. As the crew of the Zenith aided the survivors, Astris and her family delved into the mystery of the stolen artifact. Their investigation led them to a hidden chamber beneath the planet's surface, where they found remnants of ancient technology and clues pointing to another Nexus-related relic. Astris sensed the energy of the place, her connection to the Nexus guiding her. This artifact is crucial. We need to find it and protect it, just like the Nexus. Chapter 13. The search begins. The Zenith set off on a new quest, following the trail of the stolen artifact. Their journey took them to distant star systems, hidden outposts, and forgotten ruins. Along the way, they encountered allies and enemies, each with their own stakes in the power of the Nexus. Astris grew stronger and more confident, her bond with the Nexus deepening. But with each step, the shadow of Vortigern loomed larger. His agents were everywhere, seeking to undermine their efforts and claim the artifact for their dark master. One such encounter brought them to a desolate moon, where they faced off against a group of mercenaries hired by Vortigern. The battle was fierce, but Astris's abilities and the support of her crew turned the tide. In the aftermath, they found a clue, a fragment of ancient writing that pointed to the location of the artifact. It was hidden on a planet shrouded in mystery and legend, a place known as the Veil of Shadows. Chapter 14. The Veil of Shadows. The Veil of Shadows was a planet unlike any other. Its surface was covered in dense, swirling mists that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Navigating through the mists was treacherous, with visibility reduced to mere meters and strange anomalies distorting their senses. As the Zenith descended, Astris felt the Nexus's energy pulsing stronger than ever. The planet was alive with power, its very essence intertwined with the artifact they sought. They landed near an ancient temple, its architecture reminiscent of the primordials. The temple's entrance was guarded by intricate carvings and energy barriers, a testament to the significance of what lay within. Astris led the way, her connection to the Nexus guiding her steps. Inside, they found a series of chambers filled with traps and puzzles designed to test the worthiness of those who sought the artifact. With each challenge, Astris relied on her training and the support of her family. Together, they deciphered ancient texts, navigated deadly traps, and solved intricate puzzles. The final chamber held the artifact, a crystalline orb that radiated a soft, pulsating light. As Astris approached, the orb seemed to resonate with her energy. Recognizing her as the Nexus's guardian, she reached out, her fingers brushing the surface, and a surge of power flowed through her. But their triumph was short-lived. Vortigern's forces had followed them to the Veil of Shadows, and they stormed the temple with ruthless efficiency. A fierce battle erupted, the ancient structure shaking with the force of the conflict. Astris fought with all her might, her abilities amplified by the artifact. But Vortigern himself appeared, his dark energy clashing with the Nexus's light. The two forces were evenly matched, their power creating a maelstrom of energy that threatened to tear the temple apart. Chapter 15. The Final Confrontation. As the battle raged on, Astris realized that the only way to defeat Vortigern was to merge her energy with the artifact, amplifying the Nexus's power to its fullest potential. She focused her mind, drawing on everything she had learned and the strength of her bond with the Nexus. With a cry of determination, Astris unleashed a wave of energy that engulfed Vortigern, trapping him in a vortex of light and dark. The temple trembled, and the walls began to crumble as the opposing forces clashed. "You cannot win," Astris Vortigern's voice echoed, filled with rage and desperation. "The Nexus's power is mine." "No," Astris replied, her voice steady and resolute. "The Nexus's power belongs to those who protect and cherish it. You will never understand that." With one final surge of energy, Astris shattered the dark vortex, sending Vortigern's essence spiraling into the void. The temple collapsed around them, but the Zenith's crew managed to escape just in time. As they flew away from the Veil of Shadows, Astris felt a sense of peace and fulfillment. The artifact was secure, and Vortigern's threat had been vanquished. But she knew that her journey was far from over. The galaxy was vast, and there were still many mysteries to uncover and dangers to face. Chapter 16. A new beginning. Back on the Zenith, Astris and her family reflected on their journey. They had faced incredible challenges and discovered new strengths within themselves. The Nexus's power had brought them together, forging bonds that would last a lifetime. High Scholar Elynd's message arrived, congratulating them on their victory and offering continued support and guidance. The Orinthians would remain allies, sharing their knowledge and wisdom to help protect the galaxy. Astris stood on the observation deck, looking out at the stars. She felt a sense of purpose and determination, knowing that her role as the Nexus's guardian was only just beginning. Captain Elias joined her, placing a hand on her shoulder. "What's next, Astris?" She smiled, her eyes filled with the light of the stars. "There are always new adventures, new discoveries, and new challenges. We'll face them together, as a family." Doctor, Talia and Finn joined them, their expressions filled with pride and hope. The Zenith's journey would continue, exploring the far reaches of space and protecting the wonders of the universe. As the ship soared through the cosmos, Astris felt a deep connection to the universe and the endless possibilities that lay ahead. She was Astris Luminara, the guardian of the Quantum Nexus, and her story was just beginning. Epilogue: The legacy of the Nexus. Years passed and Astris's legend grew. She became known as the Guardian of Light, a protector of the galaxy and a beacon of hope. The Nexus's power was used to heal, to create, and to bring peace to countless worlds. The Zenith continued its journey, with Astris and her family leading the way. They encountered new civilizations, forged alliances, and faced new threats with courage and determination. Astris's story inspired generations of explorers, scientists, and dreamers. The Quantum Nexus became a symbol of the potential within all beings to rise above darkness and create a brighter future. As she looked out at the stars, Astris knew that her journey would never truly end. The universe was vast, and there were always new horizons to explore. But she was ready, her heart filled with the light of the Nexus and the love of her family. For Astris Luminara, the guardian of the Quantum Nexus, the adventure was eternal, and the stars held infinite possibilities.